Hey everybody. So today we are going to talk about everyone's favorite topic, race. Woo! Doesn't everybody love to talk about race? So at Founders of Color, our primary mission is to leverage entrepreneurship to close the racial wealth gap. And so people often ask me, okay, well, Kelly, explain the racial wealth gap to me. And I start with the babies because it's easier for people to have empathy for the babies than it is for them to have empathy for grown people, because they think grown people make choices in their lives which lead to their outcomes, right? So let's start with the babies. In our country today, the average white child enters the world with 10 times the inherited wealth as your average black child and 8 times the inherited wealth of your typical Latino child. Okay? And so your access to wealth determines your access to just about everything else. The quality of the health care you're going to receive while you're a baby and in the hospital, the quality of the house that you live in, the neighborhood, your parents' access to jobs, your ability to get into college. The list goes on and on and on and on. So the analogy that I use, it's like a Monopoly game, right? So you're invited to a Monopoly game, and when you arrive you realize that this Monopoly game has already been going on for a couple of hours, and you're like, well, nobody told me that the game started earlier. Okay, so you show up and you sit at the table and you get your money from the bank, and it's $20, and you say, well, I thought everybody was supposed to get $200. And they say, oh, no, no, you get 20. And I'm like, okay, well, any other rules that I need to be made aware of? And they say, well, the main rule is this game is a meritocracy. And you're like, a meritocracy? Yeah, you gotta work hard, and if you work hard, you'll win. And you're like, well, y'all got $200 and I got 20. I'm expected to win too. Yes, meritocracy. You're like, okay. So then you play and you realize that all the good properties are taken up, and all that's left is the stuff nobody else wants. And then you pull from the deck of cards and you realize the only cards left are the go to jail cards. And that, my friends, is racial inequality. You show up to the game and you get less in the way of resources, and the expectation is that you still win despite the fact that you don't have access to what everybody else gets. And so with our work at Founders of Color, we are trying to bring about greater racial economic equality so that it's actually more of a fair game. Okay? I hope I haven't ruined Monopoly for you. That would suck. All right. Thanks, everybody.